Davis is cleared to fight again. You know, who would you like to see him tussle with, my man?
I hadn't thought about that. Some of those guys that are right around that division for him, the Shakur Stevensons, the Devin Haney's, and my man, who else are we looking at?
I don't know. I saw a few interviews mentioning Inoue, and I thought, like, whoa, that's kind of like a big bridge there for Inoue.
I don't think Inoue needs to be stepping up there. Nah, that's not going to be a good look for him. Nah.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No. I mean, unless they know some things that we don't know, like he's really walking around at 160 pounds of muscle and
no way
cutting down to what did they just fight
at
122?
Yeah,
right. No,
40 pounds. No, yeah.
Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson. Those are two off the top of my head that I would love to see him fight. Who else is up there that I'm thinking about or I'm not thinking about? Who am I missing, Marcos?
Pitbull Cruz keeps asking for a rematch.
We moved on past him. I believe there's bigger and better fights for Davis at this point. And two of those guys that I just named might be the ones.
Can the fight with Shakur happen?
I don't think it's getting ready to happen right now, but it can definitely happen. It can definitely happen. I think those three guys at some point in time are going to want to step up and take the limelight from the other divisions. You know, I think they'll look at a Canelo and a Charlo fight, or they'll look at a Errol Spence and a Bud Crawford fight and say, hey, I want that. That's what I want. I want that walkout. I want to be in that big arena. I want that pay-per-view situation. Let's make this fight happen because I want to be that guy. I think those guys are going to be ambitious and they're going to want to make those type of fights. But I believe that, you know, Davis has the ability to win those fights. I know that Shakur has the ability to outbox just about anybody on the planet in his weight class. And that's another thing, you know. Shakur was in camp with Bud. And Shakur's hands are extremely fast. And when you're working with a guy with that type of speed all the time, him, also Frank Martin, and some of the other guys they had in camp, you're working with those type of guys. And then you get in there with Spence. He's been seeing speed that's tremendous compared to, you know, Spence is fast, but these guys are lightning fast. They're blazing fast. And so that would definitely help him to see things at a slower pace. He was able to really look at the things that were going on in front of him in the Spence fight and say, nah, I got something for that, and I got something for everything you're doing.
Unbiased breakdown from you, and I know you helped Gervonta in this last fight with Ryan, but how do they stack up? How does Gervonta beat a Shakur Stevenson?
By knockout.
By knockout.
He's got to win by knockout. But Shakur has the ability to win the fight by outboxing. So at this point, you know, to be truthful, that's in that 50-50 range for me right now. One guy has the ability to win with his power. And a lot of people don't know that Gervonta, Tank's got really, really good. No, not good. He's great. He's got great boxing abilities. I've watched him. I've watched his hands. And I've watched his feet. I've watched him do things that didn't incorporate the power. It was just speed and quickness. And it was just the innate ability to hit a guy and not get hit by a guy. So he's got the ability to box that people don't know, so don't underestimate his boxing ability. That is definitely a fight that I would be looking forward to.
Oh man, that's on my my next little wish list of fights.
Yeah, if I got a wish list, I want to see that one.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I want to be right there ringside for that.
In your opinion, how does a Mel versus Crawford fight play out, and who would you give the favor to based on paper what they've shown?
Based on paper, it's Bud. Based on my eye test, what I've seen here just the other night, it's Bud. Uh, Charlo is definitely in the fight and gonna make it an exciting fight. It's an exciting fight. There is an unknown factor there, and it's a very exciting fight. I believe it would be an exciting fight. There is the unknown that we don't know what happens when Bud moves up to 154 and he's fighting a guy who's been at 54 for a number of years. We don't know, but yeah, initially my thoughts are Bud. As a matter of fact, if you got King Kong or Godzilla, my thoughts now are Bud. Okay, if you found Bigfoot and you brought him out from wherever he's been, I got Bud.
Yeah, that goes back to what I was saying. Like, I would imagine you see him retiring undefeated unless he just stays around too long.
I see him retiring undefeated. I mean, if it's a Mack truck coming down the street and he's head up with it, I got Bud. I don't see nobody beating Bud. He's made a true believer out of me, and a lot of people in the business and the networks. Everyone should be a believer now.
Well, hey, Kenny, man, it was good catching up with you. Good seeing you again.
Thank you for putting up with me, man. Sorry I couldn't make it at the time we were supposed to do it.
It all worked out, my man.
It worked out, and I appreciate your patience, because this weather here in Las Vegas, if you go out here and you work out here like I did today, you come back and you're like, oh man, I need to sit down and not move for a minute. I got to hydrate. I got to cool down. My body's just overheated, and just getting in your car, like, you don't even want to get out of your car to pump gas. You get out of your car, you stick it in there, you jump back in the car. It's just 100, 115, 112, 107. The heat is tremendous here. So thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
Nah, thank you. And I appreciate the time. As always, Kenny, thank you so much.
All right, brother. Thank you. Have a good one.